I stand before you as the first candidate for Vice President of the United States of South Asian descent.
Is that your dad?
Yeah, that's my dad.
This man right here is your father? Right there?
You have a question about that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I was wondering if your dad really is an African-American man.
That's a very, I mean, I don't know what you're implying.
Are you African-American?
I don't understand the question of, I did tell you that yes, that's my dad. And he was unable to come in January.
Are your parents, are they white?
Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us.
That'll be the hour they knock the slick blaster. Dick Dastardly, a Muttley with sick laughter. A gunfight and they come to cut the mix master ice. And living the true gods, giving y'all nothing but the lick like two broads. Got more lyrics than the church got ooh lords. And they hold the mic at your attention like two swords. Or you the one with two blades on it. Hey you, don't touch the mic like it's AIDS on it.
Welcome once again to the beatzillapdx official show. I am your host, beatzillapdx officially. And this is the weekly wrap-up special report. And so, as you see, we're doing something different. This is a produced video, as you can see. So, of course, we're not live, but, just wanted to chime in with it. We're not doing our traditional broadcast live this evening, but I did want to go ahead and tap in with the fam, real quick. And, just share my piece on this. So I want to go ahead and get right into it. As you're coming in this broadcast, please hit the like button, share it, subscribe to this channel. And if you want to, you can also join this channel and become a member. With that being said, peace, power, blessings, and protection be upon each and every one of you who are tuning in. Thank you. So without further ado, let me get right into it. And let me play this video real quick, and then I'll come back after that and talk about what we're talking about.
The American Immigration Lawyers Association is pleased to present this ALA University video roundtable entitled Immigration is a Black Issue, a conversation about Black immigrants in the United States.
I'm here today as a proud Afro-Latina of Panamanian descent. My parents and grandparents were born and raised in Panama. My great-grandparents hailed from Jamaica and Barbados. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. And based on what I saw around me, I thought that everyone was like me from somewhere else.
I love the name of this event, that immigration is a Black issue. It's actually on DocuBlack's tagline. It's usually what we put on our t-shirts and merch and other things. And I think it's such a simple concept, but it's one that I think many of the folks on this call and other Black immigrant rights organizations have really fought to solidify as something that we don't just say, but that's something that is substantive in its meaning, right? This idea that immigration is a Black issue.
This year, Black History Month's theme is Black resilience. Black history is celebrated in Canada and in the United Kingdom this month as well. So it's more than just a United States celebration of who and where we are. So when we sort of talk about the inclusive diaspora, I think that Blackness encompasses everybody. And in some of these forms, in these categories, this division is not useful. Diaspora wars among any people is not useful.
Again, my name is Ronald Claude, and I'm the Director of Policy and Advocacy at the Black Alliance for Just Immigration, also known as BASHI. Furthermore, I'm first-generation Haitian American, and Black immigration is a Black issue, a tagline that I know DocuBlack uses, and quite frankly, all our organizations, stand by, is because we have to look at immigration holistically, especially when we're talking about Black people and Black immigrants.
Black History Month is every single day. It's not just the month of February. It's not just the first that we should have an event like this. It's every day that we need to recognize Black people, Black history, and include Black immigrants in it as well.
beatzillapdx official special report. Of course, today we're not doing the traditional live, but I wanted to talk about a few things. Of course, you see the thumbnail, which we have recently covered, thanks to the research of Candace Owens. Like we say, truth is truth, and a broken clock can be right twice a day. So with that being said, Candace Owens, definitely came with the receipts. And, I put up the picture. You see the picture. Clearly, you can see a family resemblance for yourself. That's just showing you the truth. Here's the difference, and here's why everybody is in an uproar. They did not plan on foundational Black Americans delineating so hard, so tough, and so abrupt. So now that you have an immigration issue, they're trying to make it a Black issue. And immigration is not a Black issue. That's why they want so hard for Kamala Harris to be Black, so she can represent that diaspora thing. That's why they're messing with the reparations conversations. I don't do defeatist talk, so we're not doing what people ain't never going to get, because we are not based on what they will give us. It's not what our movement is about. We are about, because see, again, some things you just have to force. And I believe for the righteous, the truth will always prevail. And that's what you are seeing happening. That's why the grassroots have definitely taken hold of the discourse out here. And so we got to be real about what we're dealing with. One of the things we're dealing with is the lies of Kamala Harris, the lies of the DNC party making her black. Why is it important to make her black? Because being a foundational Black American right now is the political cash. Whether they want to believe it, admit it or not. But here's the other part of it. Now you're seeing other immigrants, Joy Reid, worried about the people of the Congo being deported, and all of these other Afro-Latinos and all these other folks that are now worried about being deported. And what they want to do is continuously make Black folks feel that immigration is our issue. But what it's actually exposing is how many tethers we have really truly had amongst us, because their interest is on immigration, which is not an undeportable issue. When you're talking to the undeportable, what does immigration mean to us? What does deportation mean to us? It means that it prevents the clogging of our pursuit of empowerment. So at the end of the day, it's a good thing for foundational Black American freedmen who always have our interest overshadowed by interest of other groups. Be it Black immigrant, your interests do not align with ours right now. So that's the truth of the matter. And Black America owes no one anything. I don't know where that comes from, but people tend to think that Black America owes the world everything, and we do not. So I just wanted to give this special report. Shout out to Candace Owens. You see how everybody's going crazy out here. My video that I did yesterday, talking about when the Nigerian woman exposed the African hair braiders. The division doesn't come from our side. The division is coming from the tether side, and coming here to our home, to the place that we built, is very disrespectful. And be clear on who owes who in these scenarios. We owe nobody anything, but they owe foundational Black American freedmen everything, even the Ukrainians. So when people say, well, you guys, why aren't you talking about the Ukrainians being deported? We did. You see on my broadcast all the time, I tell you, Ukraine is not our responsibility. But guess what you DNC shields and all of you go along, get along gang started doing? Y'all started praying for Ukraine. Don't look to us now, because we were trying to tell you this is a point where you start talking. But you guys wanted to be so aligned with these folks over here. When you say that our talking points are white supremacist talking points, your actions are white supremacist actions, because those Ukrainians were Nazis. There are Nazi regimes that are getting nothing but American money, and you gave it to them. Never forget that. So, there are many things that we have to chime in and talk about, but I just wanted to touch on this real quick. Coming right back.
As I have made clear on our 6 previous meetings and throughout Putin's brutal aggression and war against Ukraine, my support for the people of Ukraine is unwavering. I've been proud to stand with Ukraine. I will continue to stand with Ukraine, and I will work to ensure Ukraine prevails in this war. To be safe, secure, and prosperous, the United States must continue to fulfill our long-standing role of global leadership. We must stand with our allies and our partners. We must defend our democratic values and stand up to aggressors. And we must stand for international order, rules, and norms. Each one of these principles is at stake in Ukraine. And that is why Ukraine's fight matters to the people of America.
So, as you can see, we have a lot of game trying to be ran on us. I played the piece from 2023. Let you know, these folks have been building coalitions. They're getting funding, by the way, to ensure that they interrupt or disrupt or graft on to us. So disrupt our delineation, disrupt lineage-based policy so they then can graft on to everything that we have fought for. All of this work of the grassroots is not for outside groups. I'm sorry. That is not what my efforts are for. I can't speak for everybody else involved with that, but I would take a strong guess and say they would have to agree with me on that as well. So with that, you know, we got to look at like the Joy Reids and all of these people and to be honest with it. Kamala Harris ain't black. Kamala Harris at best has some black DNA, but who doesn't? But when you're out here identifying as everything else, y'all want to sit up here and want us to believe that her mother, who identified as Caucasian, knew that she was raising 2 black daughters. That's foolish to even think. The one thing that she could say is that she knows how racist America is and that her daughters, being melanated Indians, would definitely might be considered or be treated as Negroes, especially back then when they were not looking at everybody in their specific ethnic group. So we have to take that into consideration as well. So they went to Canada. Another lie that we see. Here's the other thing, that when we're talking about Kamala Harris, we're talking about her deception. That's a huge part of the problem. And so she says that her mother, she was middle class and her mother saved up to buy a home. Kamala Harris moved to Canada at 12 years old. That's well documented, already out there. So why would she now turn around and tell y'all that she was a teenager while growing up in Oakland? Then she gets out there and starts saying, talking about we and the effects of chattel slavery and Jim Crow and redlining and all of these things that she hasn't experienced at all. These are things that these individuals, and that is tethering at its finest. And so let this be proof to everybody that we've had so many tethers. I said it yesterday. I'll say it again today. Let this be proof that how many tethers we have actually had around us, because they want us to believe, the people who are non-deportable, they want us to ingest this idea that everybody is just the same, and flat blackness involves everybody. Flat blackness may be so. However, their flat blackness, actually they have something else in common that we cannot relate to. We are not immigrants. We did not immigrate here, nor can we be deported, have our status tampered with and sent somewhere else. We don't possess that. They do. And so the commonality that we don't have with any other black ethnic group should be respected, because here's the thing. We're tied to this land while y'all are tied to others. And so you come here, we didn't go to your land, and not to mention it was through civil rights and through the pressures from the black grassroots and the black community, not really so much the church, but the grassroots that doesn't really get spoken of, not John Lewis, but the grassroots that actually aided the energy behind Lyndon Baines Johnson signing those bills. It's not that he wanted to, and it's not that the American people voted for it. It's something that had to be done. It got presented, and they got it done. So with this being said, even looking over here at the thing in California with Gavin Newsom playing the okie doke, Gavin Newsom was over there playing in the background with the so-called black leaders, having them strip the Freedmen Bureau out of the bill just so he could then turn around and veto the other bill that did make it through because it doesn't have the Freedmen Bureau attached to it. So he played a super duper okie doke, and to sit up here and for all of these black politicians and the black pundits, they're acting as if, oh, no harm, no foul. That thing that went down in California is Nancy Pelosi and Kamala Harris's state. If anywhere Kamala should have flexed her muscles, or maybe she did. She should have been pining for reparations, but instead she's been silent on the reparations push from her home state. And now what's recently just happened to black folks again, they are silent. But guess what they're doing? Here they come out here now talking about how they want to get the one dude censured. And he said he made a tweet about Haiti that they took down. And let me tell you something, it's so much not a foundational black issue. I don't even know what the tweet said. All I know is now you got Joy Reid running out here talking about things about the Congo are racist, and then they're worried about Haitians. Do you understand all of these people are simply worried about being deported? We do not have the same interest at all. They are not interested in fighting white supremacy. They're interested in fighting not being deported. That's it. Their fight stops right there. So when we have all these other individuals coming around our midst trying to tell us who's who, I want you to remember who the biggest advocate for immigrants will be. You will never have a president more pushing for illegal immigration to be made legal than Kamala Harris. Why? Because she's an anchor, baby, of 2 immigrants. Not 1, but 2. And everybody's like, what's the difference? Barack Obama had a white American mother and had a black American wife. There's a big, huge difference and disconnect with Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, you can't even point out to her black experience ever, except for Howard University for 3 years. 3 years. Why 3 years, you say? Did she graduate early? No. They conveniently leave out that she started her college career in Canada. Here's because, again, you have to start calling her a Canadian because, truth be told, all of her actual formative years were in Canada, 12 to college age. That's when you're coming of age and coming of life. Did you guys even know that the story she likes to tell so often about her neighbor and her friend that was SA'd by her stepdad? You realize that that girl is the Canadian living in Canada when that happened. So her friend that she found out, and that's what made her want to be a prosecutor. All of that happened in Toronto. Toronto, Canada is where that took place. Not the American black experience, but that place where that was all in her community and her culture. We leave that part out. But because here's the other part of it. There's a lot that goes on in Indian culture. How many cases do you see of Indian folks saying Kamala Harris came after us? Just curious. Any Asian Pacific Islanders out there can say Kamala Harris targeted your family for anything? She over-prosecuted your family members. Do you guys have that story? If not, it's really no need to start comparing it and saying that we are looking at this woman with false eyes. Here's the truth. Y'all went at Janet Jackson as if a foundational black American woman and her family and lineage and their contribution to our society and our culture should be disrespected by the likes of a liar, a cosplayer, and a charlatan such as Kamala Harris. Because here's the thing, she could just run on who she is, but she's doing everything as a lie. It's all deceit. She keeps repeating Project 2025, which no one is fearing. Because here's the problem. If you're a scary Negro, scared of Project 2025, you aren't built to be with us anyway. And you're most likely a tether, and the fight of the righteous is not in your spirit. So you need to go ahead and get back to where you need to be anyway. Because you can't fight with us here. You're too worried about being deported to be able to stand against white supremacy. So we do not need you speaking for us. That is why we must delineate. That is why we must shut down all of the tetherism, especially when it comes down to political leadership and media microphones. These folks need to stop speaking for us because it has created such a dynamic of a problem that we are now having to take it back by force through the grassroots. And now this is our narrative, our time. And the reason why reparations is the talk of the planet is because of the grassroots and no other. Anybody thinking different is out of their minds. But with that being said, there's been so many people that come across us and talk disrespectful to Black Americans, foundational Black Americans. And here's the bottom line. That woman, that picture that's on my X page going viral is going viral for a reason. This picture is going viral for a reason. Why? Because maybe, just maybe, Candace Owens and her crew got it right. Maybe they just got it right and did enough due diligence and digging. I mean, this is not no ignorant woman we're talking about. She has her positions that we 99% of the time probably disagree. But I am not finna ever sit up here and shun truth and shun the truth for chaotic lies because of who I like or who I agree with or who I don't like or who I don't agree with. Because at the end of the day, the responsible action of an adult is to hold fast to the truth and dispel lies. And these lies have now been dispelled. Kamala Harris is definitely not a foundational Black American. She's not a freedman, although she went and referred to herself as such in front of the National Association of Black Journalists. I play that video here. That video's on this page. So you could go see that video and watch her do it for yourself. That type of behavior cannot be tolerated, and we owe that individual nothing. We don't owe that party anything, and that party is sending us the person who said they ain't gonna do nothing just for Black people. No! And that's what we should accept. And then on the other side, these people, I believe she has a hand or a word maybe in California playing with reparations. And so at the end of the day, you can't have no woman in here that, oh, she said she was for reparations. That line right there that she's for reparations, let me tell you why the Republicans are going to start using that. That tries to give them an out. But that reparations isn't about Democrat or about Republican, because reparations is pushed from the grassroots. You will get a lot of right-wing idiots that will get out here and start talking that reparations is a Democratic talking point. Let me tell you something. The Democrats don't want to talk about reparations at all. Not for foundational Black Americans. That's foolish to even think. So it has been the grassroots that begun this conversation and has kept it going and has it in the front view of the world. So with that being said, that's why we say around here, hashtag hands off our reparations.
You have no rights here. We're not under the empire.
59 years ago, on a cold Sunday morning, 600 brave souls set out from Selma. They marched for the freedoms that were theirs by birth and theirs by right. And today we know our fight for freedom is not over, because in this moment we are witnessing a full-on attack on hard-fought, hard-won freedoms. The freedom to vote, the freedom from fear, violence, and harm, the freedom to learn, the freedom to control one's own body, and the freedom to just simply be. History is a relay race. Generations before us carried the baton, and now they have passed it to us. So let us continue to organize, let us continue to fight, and let's make some good trouble along the way.
So, with all of that cosplaying, when people tell you that it doesn't matter, that is BS. Why do you think she's sitting up there giving a speech in front of Selma? And so don't let people play in your face. Now that the truth is starting to come out and that they were playing with her background and doctoring up her background, they're going to try to use, oh man, you guys is using the birther line. Well, unfortunately, she presented this problem, not us. So when you go back to the misinformation and disinformation, then you might want to start addressing the source. And the source of this disinformation is Kamala Harris. She's the one that wrote that book and told you that that woman was her grandmother. And now they're trying to say, oh, yeah, well, look at the records. Don't explain the mix-up in records right now. We didn't write her book. She did. So this whole shifting of blame of the lies that you guys were pushing with Kamala Harris, number one, she didn't even get voted in to be where she is right now. So the whole she's overqualified is crap. No, she's not. If she was qualified, she would have got voted to be there. That's what qualifies a political candidate. Votes. And she got none. So there is no validation there. She's an invalid nominee. And the Democrats forced it on everybody. And so now everybody is watching the tan Caucasian version of Sarah Palin flame out before everybody's eyes. Why? Because she's not been to Europe. Sarah Palin can see Alaska or see Russia from her house. But it's somehow different when you haven't been to the border. I haven't been to Europe. And then you call that overqualified? Are you kidding? A person who can't even sit down through a softball interview without stumbling? That's foolish. That's absolutely foolish. Here's the evidence that she cannot even do that.
You have laid out policy in great detail. Yeah. But the economy is an unpredictable beast. And you are running for a job that takes extraordinary instinct and guts. Yeah. What's the last time you had to make a gut decision? This here is very prescribed. It's very controlled.
Yeah. Probably the biggest gut decision I've made most recently is to choose my running mate. Yeah. There were lots of good, incredible candidates. And ultimately, that came down to a gut decision.
Fumbling, bumbling, stumbling, without mumbling, sounding like Joe Biden, but tied to all of the bad failed policies of the last 4 years, almost 4 years now. And this has been at the hands of this regime. So we can't go forward voting for the last few years. If we need something to get us out of this position, it is not using the same tool as how we got here. However, that is the logic of the brain dead, blue, no matter who, blue God worshiping Democratic shield. But let me just tell y'all something. Times are changing. Times are changing. But one thing that is not is this movement forward for black empowerment. Babylon is falling. Babylon is falling. Let it fall and let us rise. Can you dig it? And one thing I hope that you guys understand with this special news break is that, you know, in lieu of seeing how they have lost their minds on X over my post, this thing is over 100-something views, and they still cutting loose. I see it now, and granted, there's going to be a lot of the conservative commentators to follow these stories, you know, but you know, give credit to where credit is due. If Candace Owens was the super sleuth on this, give her credit. If I'm one that's been toeing this line for all of this time, telling you the truth, and now, bam, here it is, so be it. This is not me being an agent of chaos. For those who are watching this video and probably your first time in tune to me, this is the same person that you just saw on camera. So you know I'm not about. No, we're just people here that I am concerned. And like I said, me and Candace Owens, we're not going to align 99% of the time. But right is right and truth is truth. And that's how I roll here. I would hope that you guys roll the same way. But there's a lot of brain dead shields right now. And truth be told, like I said, I believe a lot of these people who are out here crying and complaining right now are crying and complaining because they are immigrants. And that goes to show how many of these black immigrants are actually not here legally. Oh man, why are you worried about that? You could have shut your mouth, but hit dogs holler. And so for you hollering, don't blame us. But I'm going to tell y'all this once and for all from Beatzilla PDX official. Immigration is not a black issue. And for those of you who want to try to tie your immigration status into our blackness and our issues, well, I speak for myself, Beatzilla PDX official, the Beatzilla PDX official show. Those of you in the chat, the grassroots, and the voices of new black media, I'm pretty sure I'm safe to speak for everybody involved when we proudly dedicate this song to you.
Get up off of that cocaine, and get up off of that crack. Get yourself together, and get your mind back.
So family, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at beatzillapdx. And when I say Twitter, I also mean X. Also, you can email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And if you feel so inclined to put some money in the bucket, you can support this channel by way of CashApp. That's $beatzillapdx. And we also have PayPal, which is Zilla Music. That is ZillaMuzak at PayPal. And, you know, this has been Beatzilla PDX official show, weekly wrap-up special report. And I hope you guys enjoy it. For those, the family down there on the Eastern Seaboard, I just talked to my father. He checked in. They got hit really, 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 really hard in certain places of Georgia down there in that low country. So for those around, like my brother Black Alpha's area, and brother Marcel Dixon, and those of you who are down in Atlanta, I hope everybody is safe. Hope everybody got your power back on, and hope that you guys did not get your houses beat up too tough if you did. And hopefully you guys ain't in a hotel right now, or even worse. So hopefully the family is cool. I'm wishing the best for y'all. So if you guys are going through those things and still tuning in, I most greatly appreciate that. So thank you if that's the case for you. But if not, and all of you who are tuning in, I appreciate you guys tuning in as well. And thanks and shout out to all of the members. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be doing a special, just look for a little video. It'll be a quick clip of me giving the members shout outs. So I'm going to make that its own video. With that being said, keep your notifications on. For the members, there is a new video. I posted that yesterday in the members area. So with that being said, y'all, I think that is everything I need to tell you. Well, as again, thank y'all. Hit that thumbs up, share on your social media, subscribe to this channel, Beatzilla PDX official on YouTube. And if you want to, you can also become a member. And so y'all keep your 3 smooth stones at the ready and your slingshot nearby. Black first. Oh, wait, what am I saying? Stay black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first, black first, black first. Shalom, y'all. Y'all have a blessed weekend.
When you know who Satan is, yes, sir, you don't have to kill him. No. The stone of truth. Yes. See, that's what you throw. Yes, right, right. Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knock out its brains. Every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan, who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man, and you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.